I welcome you now to the fifth lesson for the second quarter, a lesson on misplaced and dangling modifiers. As as how the term is found in the as the term is found in the lesson, modifiers. So we're talking here of a word. Take note of a word, a phrase, or a clause, the purpose of which is either an adjective, is as an adjective or an adverb. We are not after of nouns or pronouns. We are after of modifiers here. There are only two modifiers in grammar. That could be an adverb or an adjective. It's quite timely as well, because this lesson has been given to you right after our lessons on verb modification and noun modification. We had them before. So we will be reoriented once again. We must not forget that modifiers can be single words. They can be single word modifiers. They can also be phrase modifiers or clause modifiers. It's just that when we use modifiers in a sentence, there might be a tendency where we'll make these two kinds of mistakes. The first mistake is what we refer to as a misplaced modifier. I don't know, do I still need to use this for this purpose? Because the module already contains the examples of the sample sentences. I will. I just feel like writing. A grammar discussion won't be complete without this. Or before I proceed, a quick segue. Before I proceed, I now have 104 subscribers on YouTube. So keep the subs coming, keep them coming. And my video, the one that has reached 1,000, is now at 1,154 views. I'm really on that road. Don't worry, I will never forget you. I'll never forget any of you. Who would have thought, that I would reach 104 subs since August? It's August, huh? August, September, October, November. In just 4 months, I got 104 subs. That's so slow. I'm not progressing well. Okay. We begin with misplaced modifiers. There's a reason why they are called misplaced. Simply because they are not located in the right area or part of the sentence where they should be located or placed. As a rule, a modifier is supposed to be placed close to the word that it is supposed to modify. That's quite the general rule. So we always ask ourselves, once we find a modifier, is it found on the right place? Is it located there? Is that word the right word modified by this modifier? So let's have an example. The only solution, by the way, for misplaced modifiers, the most practical solution that you should do is to move that modifier close to the word that it is trying to modify. As simple as that. For instance, I'll put this one. Sentence is this: the woman crossed the street wearing red. Again, there. That's the last word of the sentence. Again, the sentence is, the woman crossed the street wearing red. There is an obvious modifier in the sentence, which happens to be misplaced. There is a modifier that is not placed close to the word that it is supposed to modify. And what is that modifier, Leja?
Wearing red.
Correct. You have wearing red. If you simply accept this sentence as it is, you are now trying to interpret it as the street being the one wearing red, which logically does not sound correct. Therefore, you look for something in the sentence that is capable, or if not, has the possibility, has the chance of being modified by our modifier. And that word is what? Alay. What is the word that I'm referring to? What word in this sentence should be appropriately modified by wearing red?
Woman.
Woman, correct. How do you call a word again that is modified by a modifier? Alex?
Antecedent. What, sir?
Antecedent. The word antecedent refers to the noun substituted or referred to by the pronoun. How do you call the word modified by the modifier? There's a term for that, and I had this given during the lesson on expanding sentences through noun modification. When we had a discussion on adjectives, I made mention of this. The word that is being modified is called the
Head word.
correct, the head word. So as suggested, to correct a sentence with a misplaced modifier, you simply move this modifier close to the word that it is supposed to modify. And so, your revised sentence will supposedly look like this. The woman wearing red crossed the street. In this green colored statement that we have, let's try to still examine it. Our modifier is wearing red. That's our modifier. And what is this trying to modify? The word woman. Since the word woman is a noun, our modifier is obviously an adjective. What kind of modifier do we have? Look at its structure. Is it a single word, a phrase, or a clause modifier? Carlos.
Sir?
What kind of modifier do we have? Single word, phrase modifier, or clause modifier?
Phrase?
It's a phrase modifier, correct. Specifically, what kind of a phrase modifier is this, Juliana?
Participial.
Correct. It's a participial phrase modifier. It ends in ing. It's a present participial phrase modifier. Again, the general rule, we place the modifier close to the word that it is trying to modify. Sir, can we not revise it this way? Wearing red, the woman crossed the street. You might want to write that down. Wearing red, the woman crossed the street. In that manner, sir, wearing red is still close to the woman. But in what structure can we find wearing red the closest to woman? It is in this structure. One thing that grammar wants to also assess is we are after of the best or the most appropriate way of rewriting a sentence to arrive at one that is grammatically sound or correct. So between this structure, between this one, wait, the screen froze. Wait, there. Between this one and wearing red, the woman crossed the street, this one comes out to be more grammatically acceptable. If this one is available, choose this as an answer. If this one is not provided, you choose wearing red, the woman crossed the street. If the exam is in multiple choice form. But if you were given the chance to provide the answer yourselves, like you're given the chance to rewrite it by yourselves, then follow this structure where the modifier is really close to the word that it is trying to modify. I'll try to put, oh my gosh, something happened. I'll try to put in another example. It's because that phone is being charged right now. Any questions so far? Do we have a question regarding a misplaced modifier? By the way, earlier I was told that in CI you were complete. As of this time, you are 25 in number. 3 students are not around because 2 of my accounts have been used for this. So there are 3 students who are not into this Zoom call. I cannot really determine who these 3 students are. What if I don't upload anymore my videos? No, because if I don't upload my videos on YouTube, I will not gain views and subs. So I'm doing this for my viewers and subs. For a short recap of an electron, Sir J.J. Thompson found out that atoms the table is now dry. So now what's going to happen is, the screen is still black, don't worry. What's going to happen now is I'll give you a sentence. And same thing, you tell me whether the sentence is correct or incorrect. In the context of a misplaced or misplaced modifier, you tell me if this one is correct or incorrect. Animated, but somehow the is with this experiment, we concluded that a particle spreads away from the ray, the alpha, beta, and gamma ray, and we call this as the charged particle, also called the electron, the alpha particle. And then in the charge of the said electron, or in the charge of that said particle, here, I said something out of my mind which was not accepted by everyone. Correct or incorrect? Again, the sentence is, I said something out of my mind which was not accepted by everyone. Correct or incorrect? It always goes to that question. Is this correct or incorrect? If you say that it is, you know what my next question is. Are you sure that it's correct? If you say, though, that it is incorrect, are you also sure that it is incorrect? Who knows? I have just probably created one correct sentence. And that's, of course, possible. Again, sorry. Here's the sentence. I said something out of my mind which was not accepted by everyone. Correct or incorrect? Angel. What say you, Angel? Correct or incorrect? What was that? Still using the okay.
There's construction in our house.
Oh. But what say you of this one, Angel? Is this correct or incorrect? For this, the answer of Angel is Viona, what say you, Viona? Correct or incorrect?
Is it wrong? Is it incorrect? I don't know.
Rain,
The
what say
which
you?
is weird.
Rain, what say you, Rain? Correct or incorrect? You can do it, Rain. You can do this.
Correct, incorrect.
It's correctly incorrect. Is that what you said? What about Icy? Correct or incorrect?
Correct for me.
So, according to Viona, it's incorrect. It's wrong. Icy has voted that it be correct. Rain has chosen to abstain. She's staying at the center. Let's see who, I'll call one more person and let's see whose answer that person will be agreeing on. Hopefully not the answer of Rain, because Rain has stayed at the center. John Abiliana, correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Again, what?
Incorrect.
Oh, so John Abiliana has agreed with Fiona. Let me try to enlighten you as to what the supposed judgment is regarding this sentence. I'm not saying that to those who chose that it's correct, you got the correct answer na, or that it's really incorrect. Let's try to discuss, and so you will discover later on. Is this what bothered you? Is this clause the one that's causing a confusion? Because this is a clause. It's an adjectival clause. You could see this after the word mine. Is this clause supposed to describe mine? What is supposed to be described by this word, Juliana? By this clause, Juliana?
Something.
It's the word something, correct. But how do you call this up to mine? How do you call this, Juliana? Because your reaction is how do you call that, Juliana?
So, is it? It's like, is it a prepositional phrase?
Correct. And what is modified by this prepositional phrase, Juliana?
Something.
Therefore,
Oh, so the clause is the object of the preposition.
no, the object of the preposition is mine.
Oh.
Therefore, this sentence is actually correct. You can structure this in two ways. I said something which was not accepted by everyone out of my mind, or I said something out of my mind which was not accepted by everyone. At any rate, this one is already correct. Why? Because two kinds of modifiers are sharing the same head word. So in this structure, the sentence comes out to be already correct. No modifier is misplaced. Even if you'd say, sir, should we not interchange the positions of the two? Even if you do, the sentence will still be correct. In this structure, the sentence is already correct. We are not required, we are not demanded to revise this anymore, because in itself, the sentence is grammatically acceptable. Well, if you want to state it as which was accepted by which was not accepted by everyone out of my mind, that comes out as another sentence. But since this one is already correct, there's no need to revise this. The question earlier was just to know whether this one is correct or not. The answer is this is a correct sentence. Means a modifier has not been misplaced. Another kind of modifier that tends to be misplaced from time to time is what we call a squinter. Does everybody in the class know what a squinter is? Have you encountered the term before in grammar? One example of a squinter is this word. That's a sample squinter. Another squinter is this. How do they are squinters, huh? Squinters are single word expressions or expressions that can be transferred from one part to another, thereby modifying the meaning of the sentence. They have the power to change the meaning of the sentence depending on where they are actually placed. And the best person who knows the real function of these squinters is no less than the author of the sentence. What we can just do is try to infer. In the absence of the author, we can just guess what the author what the creator of the sentence wanted to create or to convey as a message. For example, Wait. Wait. I'm creating two sentences that use the same squinter but changes the meaning of the sentence depending on the location of the squinter for a while. Look at these two sentences. Wait. Removing the charger. Look at these two sentences. The first one, only this subject will be removed. Second one, this subject will only be removed. Look at only. In these two sentences, the placing of only creates a difference in meanings between sentence 1 and 2. What does the use of only mean in sentence 1, Leisa?
It means na the subject, only that subject will be removed.
Correct. And that no other subject shall be removed, but only this one. What about the second sentence, Angel? What does this mean? What does the placement of only here mean? A construction is going on. I forgot. Okay. Let's go to Kiana.
Sir,
What does the placement of only in the second sentence mean?
it means the subject will only be removed, like nothing else, like no action to do. Yeah, yun.
Correct. No other thing shall happen to the subject, but that it will be removed. No other thing shall happen. It will not be added with anything. It will not be renamed. The only thing that shall be done about it is that it will be removed. See, that's what squinters do. Squinters at times may not necessarily qualify as misplaced, but if we have a good idea of what the sentence supposedly means, then we should know why it's misplaced at that point. Again, if we have a good background of what the sentence is supposed to mean, then we can call that squinter a misplaced modifier. But if that sentence has that particular idea only versus another sentence, then that squinter is not necessarily an error. That squinter has served its purpose only in that particular sentence. That's what squinters do. I think in your FP, you'll have a sentence that is a squinter. Next to that misplaced modifiers is a dangling modifier. As the word dangling suggests, dangling modifiers are are modifiers that leave a hanging impression. Thus, the sentence appears to be incomplete. There's no complete presentation of what is supposedly modified. A dangling modifier lacks dangling modifiers lack a head word. They do not have a head word in the sentence. There is an absence of a word that is being modified. That's why they're left to be hanging. For example, Wait, I'm still writing the sentence.
It's not probably named there in your variable as mass, but it is named atomic weight.
Here's your sentence. To achieve good grades, a perfect score must be obtained. Here's the danger with dangling modifiers. If you simply look at the sentence as itself, as it is, more or less the sentence appears to be correct already. You look at that. To achieve good grades, a perfect score must be obtained. Why should you obtain? You can even try to rationalize for yourselves, but why should we try to obtain good grades or a perfect score? Why must a perfect score be obtained? That is to achieve good grades. It makes sense. The sentence makes sense. But under the lens of grammar, you should know this sentence is grammatically incorrect. Why? The achievement of a good grade is supposed to be attributed to a person. Can we find something in the sentence modified by this infinitive phrase? There's none. There's no person specified here. The person who is geared in achieving good grades, who is supposed to achieve good grades. Here's the beauty with dangling modifiers. There is almost an infinite way of revising a sentence that has a dangling modifier. Meaning, there is no fixed statement as a revision to a sentence with a dangling modifier. What is, by the way, our dangling modifier here? It's this one. This infinitive phrase is a dangling modifier, since it does not have a clearly stated word that it is supposed to modify. So how do we modify a sentence with a dangling modifier? Simple. We provide a word that it is supposed to describe. For example, I'll try to write the sentence in red. To achieve good grades, so we'll retain this infinitive phrase. To achieve good grades, he must obtain a perfect score. So that's the revision. To achieve good grades, he must obtain a perfect score. Or you can use she. Or you can use they. You can use a specific name of a person. To achieve good grades, Diana must obtain a perfect score. Because you can put any name, any significant name, or any good nominative pronoun in this sentence. Like what I said, there's almost an infinite number of ways to revise a sentence with a dangling modifier. Another sentence. I'll put my phone down for a while. Any question? Any question? While I'm trying to erase the writings on this whiteboard and while I'm trying to go.
Sir, is it correct, sir, if you do it like this, like a perfect score must be obtained to achieve good grade?
Still, there is a dangling modifier, because it still goes back to that point, Leisha. Who is supposed to achieve good grades?
Thank you, sir.
But that kind of practice is probably guilty for us. I would say sometimes I tend to ignore the presence of a dangling modifier in my statements. Wait, here's what's going to happen now. I'll type something in the chat box. I'll just type it in the chat box, and then you tell me if the sentence is correct or incorrect. Because I think typing will be faster than writing something on the table. Okay. There, correct or incorrect?
Next one. We are going to use
You type in your answer, but do not send it to the entire group. Send it to me. Send it to me.
another example. Scandium. For scandium,
Huh?
what is the
Kiana's answers. You have two answers, Kiana.
scandium?
Wrong, correct?
Nikki.
Okay. That's your final answer now. Many have agreed on an answer. Kiana is the only one whose answer is different from the others so far.
Please tell me if you do have a perfect table. If you don't have, I'll call another one. Another person to answer.
These answers that have kind of agreed among themselves is actually the right answer. Oh, Chelsea has given the incorrect answer, as well as Alay. Oops. Let's go back to the sentence. The sentence is, while hiking, a loud noise was heard. Who is capable of doing a hike? For sure, it's not the noise.
How about
There needs to be someone or a person or two or a group who should be doing that act of hiking. Therefore, this is a sentence with a dangling modifier. The dangling modifier is while hiking. So how will you try to revise the sentence? I'd like to request one of you to submit in the chat box a way to revise that sentence. Rain, how would you revise that sentence, Rain? While hiking, a loud noise was heard. How would you try to revise that? While she was hiking, a loud noise was heard. While she was here's a sample from Kiana. While she was hiking, a loud noise was heard. That one will now be acceptable because there is now a clear reference of who was doing a hike and when it was heard. Okay. What about you, Rain?
Same with Candace.
Same with Kiana, okay.
Yeah.
Or here's one from Carlos. While hiking, Joey heard a loud noise. Correct. The answer of Carlos is also specifying the name of the person who is doing the act of hiking. Therefore, eliminating the dangling modifier. Here's a possible. Allow me to use this answer. I will not name the person, but there's someone who sent me this answer. I hope everybody can see that answer. Rain heard a loud noise while hiking. Correct or incorrect? What made you say, Chelsea, that it is incorrect? According to Kiana, the sentence is correct. But I tell you, the answer of Chelsea is right. The sentence that I placed is an incorrect statement. Why? What's the error? The error has something to do with the lesson that we had before dangling modifiers. There is a misplaced modifier in that sentence. And that misplaced modifier here is while hiking. If you stick to this sentence, it's as if the noise is modified by while hiking. What is again the general rule? We place the modifier close to the word that it is trying to modify. That is why it's better stated as while hiking, Rain heard a loud noise. So who was hiking? Rain. I'll just not name who that person is who gave the answer, But it was from one of you who tried to, a loud noise was heard by Rain while hiking. Correct, Carlos? That one works. A loud noise was heard by Rain while hiking. I'll try to place something else, another new sentence. I'll give a sentence. Tell me whether it's correct or not, either in the lengths of misplaced modifiers or dangling modifiers.
Aluminum is 13 and the number of electrons from aluminum is also 13. Let's talk about the atomic mass last. Again, the atomic mass in this lesson we will use the whole number, the rounded off whole number. So the atomic mass of an atom will determine the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So for example,
Oh wait, I sent it to Alex. Sorry, Alex.
atomic mass of
I'm supposed to send it to everyone.
Kaya,
Here. Correct or incorrect?
with atomic mass of yes, correct. Answer.
Correct or incorrect?
The atomic mass of beryllium is 9.01.
By the way, just because I wrote a sentence in the chat box doesn't mean that it's really incorrect. It could probably be correct for the purpose of discussions.
The question now goes to
It could
Z.
probably be incorrect to begin with. See, in the ST,
How many neutrons are
it's
there in
incorrect.
beryllium?
Are you sure? It's correct. Are you sure?
Okay, let's proceed with a
And then you end up revising it,
If the
only to find out that it's not supposed to be revised.
4 and the atomic mass of beryllium is 9.
Juliana's answer is different from Lorraine's answer. Juliana's answer is the same as Neil's answer. Lorraine's answer is the same as Alex's answer.
Yeah.
Carlos and Kiana placed an answer with a question mark. They placed a question mark in their answers.
Balik tayo, ha? Atomic number
Let me get that sentence once again. Where is it? Here.
mass number determines the number of protons
Wait.
plus neutrons.
Christian's answer, John Buntag's answer is placed with a question mark.
How many neutrons
So once again, here's the sentence.
Clarice?
Oh my God, I sent it to Thea.
Very good. That's
There.
right.
There's the sentence.
Subtract
And people, this sentence is
subtract 9 by
incorrect.
because 9 is the sum of protons and neutrons.
Why is it incorrect, Juliana? What made you say, Juliana, that it's incorrect?
Subtract that to 9, you get the number of
Because the infinitive phrase to change my answer should not describe me. It should describe chance.
Correct.
you get to have
What kind of error can we find in this sentence, Juliana?
for the number of isotopes.
Misplaced
Correct.
modifier.
You have a misplaced modifier found in the sentence. But again, let me repeat this. This is I can't count the number of times now that I've been repeating this line. If you simply look at that statement, it appears to be acceptable or correct right away. By simply listening, if you simply listen to the sentence, another chance came for me to change my answer since the teacher allowed us to do so, already comes out to be an acceptable one. But by being particular with the rules of grammar, you should tell yourselves there is a misplaced modifier in this sentence. So if you are to revise this as suggested by Juliana, you'll come up with something like this. My-
This determines the different number of neutrons present in the same element. For example, for carbon, you have carbon 12 and carbon 12.02.
I think that's your revision, Juliana.
Let's go to the solution.
There in that revision, the infinitive phrase is placed close to the noun that it is supposed to modify. Take note, infinitive phrases may function as nouns or modifiers. And that's what we did here. We placed the infinitive phrase close to the noun that it's trying to modify, making the infinitive phrase an adjectival infinitive phrase, since it is modifying a noun. See, look at the beauty of grammar. Tell me if this sentence is wrong or not.
Bro, can you hear something last? I don't know, but there's something wrong with my module right now. So let me get to your module. So by the time, so in your module class, before we
That one. Wait. I'll set it apart from the rest of the statements. I'm referring to this one.
Let's have an example.
The one with alone in the woods.
We have here determine the number of
Correct or incorrect?
protons, neutrons, and electrons. So starting off with element number 11.
Juliana has placed in her answer, so does Marco. The answer of Juliana and Lorraine this time are the same. The answers of Marco and Carlos are the same. But the answers of these four are not the same. Thea placed an answer with a question mark. Neil and Thea's answers vary because the answer of Thea has a question mark. Errol's answer is a question mark as well. Angel has placed a question mark in her answer. Wait, when you take the ST, do not put a question mark in your answers. Chelsea's answer is, the answer of Chelsea has so much uncertainty. Chelsea, if you allow me, this is her answer. Allow me to read your answer. Huh? Incorrect. Am I sure? Incorrect? She's now doing a monologue. She's monologuing to know her final decision on that item. Again, oh wait, there are others who just left a question mark. Two question marks. Wait, I'll send once again the message, the sentence in the chat box. That's, oh my God. That's your sentence. I see left it with a tone of having no other choice. Ba? Correct na lang. So here's once again the sentence. Alone in the woods, she whispered for my name, which no one could hear. Juliana, why did you say that this is incorrect?
It alone in the woods could mean no could describe no one and could describe she.
Huh?
I mean, like, yeah.
Really?
I
No one?
um
She is actually so correctly described by alone in the woods here because the subject is just by herself in the woods. So is the sentence really incorrect?
oh
So let's continue then.
The sentence is actually incorrect.
For the number of neutrons, it will just be computed by something
It's incorrect, people.
by the atomic.
What makes it incorrect?
For the number of protons, we just have to get the atomic
It's
number.
the
For
whisper
the number of electrons, it is
that
just
could
equal
not
to
be
the
heard.
number of protons. For
But you look at the base sentence. You look at the sentence. Has the word whispered been? Look at which no one could hear. What is that supposed to modify?
element with the atomic number of 35.
It's a whisper. Correct. It's not the name, but the whisper of the name that could not be heard by anyone. So, alone in the woods, she whispered for my name, which, or sorry, you remove, perhaps you modify the latter part, but no one heard her whisper. Diba? Like what did I say earlier? There is almost an infinite number of ways to modify a sentence with a dangling modifier, which no one could hear in that statement is a dangling modifier. Therefore, you should revise the sentence in whatever way you deem necessary for as long as you eliminate a dangling modifier and all other errors, of course, in the sentence. Again, you look at which no one could hear. That's supposed to modify the whisper, which we could not find in the sentence. Questions? Alone in the woods. Alone in the woods modifies what? Here's a question from John. Alone in the woods modifies the person she. A prepositional phrase, John, may function as an adjectival prepositional phrase. How would you describe this person she when she whispered the name? She was alone in the woods.
How many protons are there in actinium?
That's why we placed alone in the woods close to she. Let's have one more. Let's have one more.
Can we call in Patrick?
Um,
Do we have Patrick with us?
again, it's a matter of whether the sentence is going to be correct or incorrect.
AC has an atomic number of 89 with a mass number of 227. So what is the how many protons are there for actinium? No answer from Patrick then.
There's a sentence.
How about we
These projects are due next week, even if they're really easy to make.
mass number 227? How many protons are there in actinium?
Correct or incorrect? Three students have keyed in their answers. Two students share the same answer, and out of the three, one student has a different answer.
The solution from
IC said that she is sure of her answer by 10%. IC, let's go to the answer of IC. IC, why did you, according to IC, the sentence is, wait, where's the sentence? Your answers are, when you're submitting answers in the chat box, the sentence is disappearing. Wait, put it again. Wait. Oh, that's a sentence. IC, why did you say, IC, that the sentence is incorrect?
for the answers that you sent in. Yeah. Turn your camera upside down.
Really easy is supposed to describe projects which should be closed project.
How many protons
Oh,
are there in actinium?
but look, IC, wait, yours, the answers of your classmates are covering the sentence. Wait, okay. There are two clauses in this sentence. The first clause is where you could find the word projects. The second clause contains a pronoun which is in reference to the word projects, and that's they. The word they, as it refers to projects, is described with the word by the word easy, which is an adjective. And easy is described by the word really, which is an adverb. To make is an infinitive, which is a complement to easy. An adverbial complement to easy. Easy how? It's easy to make. So that sentence, the last sentence that I gave, is actually a correct sentence. Juliana, you thought that the sentence is incorrect. Why?
It's like the clause that even if they are really easy to make, seems out of place.
Why?
Like, now what I was thinking, like, these projects are due next week, and then even if they are really easy to make, so like there's no relation. That's what I thought. Yeah, like that.
Wait, I didn't get that part. Again.
Like these projects are due next week, even if they are really easy to make. Like, I thought that the ideas were not.
That's actually the reason why the conjunction, subordinating conjunction that I used is even if. Despite the easiness to accomplish the ease in accomplishing the projects, they're given another week to be done or submitted, when they could have just been submitted this week. That's the idea here, man. The reason behind the use of even if. With dependent clauses, you have to, especially that this one is adverbial, be reminded that adverbial dependent clauses are quite flexible. You could place them at the start, or you could also place them at the end, latter part of a sentence. John Buntag said that the sentence is incorrect. What made you think, John, that it's incorrect?
I know, yes. That's why we have to solve it by understanding first activity one.
I just guess it, sir.
I just guessed it. What? Right minus wrong? Of course, that's not going. This cannot work on a right minus wrong type of test. Let's go with one more student said that it's incorrect. Alex with a question mark. You said that it's incorrect. What made you think, Alex, that it's incorrect?
Feel ko lang. I'm not sure.
That was the simple way to put it. You just felt like probably it's incorrect. I just felt like it. So again, people, I invite you to be very particular with this. I invite you to be very critical with how words are placed, where they are located. Is there really a word that's being modified? By knowing the answer to these questions, you would know whether the sentence has a misplaced modifier or has a dangling modifier. Questions, please. Is there any question? You have 4 FTs to answer there, so we'll check them come this Thursday. That'll be all for now. Goodbye and thank you, grade 10.
Goodbye.
Goodbye and thank you, sir.
Good luck and
Goodbye.
God
Thank
bless in
you,
your
sir.
ST. Good luck and God bless in your ST on this one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.